So if you don't know anything, or if you're not sure about anything as far as making progress in this country is concerned, I'm going to tell you one thing, and you should hold that thing on your left palm. Don't forget, don't eat with it, don't forget it. It's the fact that relationship makes a lot of difference as far as your progress in this country is concerned. And I really want to touch up on that in this video. So if you're here in America and either you're on a visa or you're even a green card holder or you just became a citizen, you really want to watch this video to the end, because I really want to touch up on the type of relationship and how you can leverage that to establish yourself in this country. So spare me the next 5-6 minutes of your life, because it might really make a difference in your life. Okay. So you see, there are two categories of people in this country. The first category, well, two categories of immigrants. The first category of immigrants are those that come into this country and all they're focused on is integrating. And these kind of people, they fall into this crazy bubble where they don't associate with people from their country, and they're so much focused on learning the ways of Americans. And it's not just the ways of Americans, to be honest, just learning the ways of like Caucasian Americans. And that's one category of immigrants. And then there's another category of immigrants that you don't even know that they're in America, because the only set of people that they associate with are people that speak their language and look like them and talk like them. That's another set. The truth of the matter, though, is that you don't want to be in either of those categories. You really want to be right in the middle. Not even in the middle, honestly. You want to be in a different category. A different category is the category that takes from group one and then that takes from group two and combine that together with your intrinsic value and all the things that you value to establish your own identity. And that makes a lot of difference. Okay. So that's really what I want to talk about in this video. But I want to establish the premise of this conversation so that you're not confused by the time you're done listening to the video. And this is how it goes. You see, people in this country, people that were born and raised in this country, they know their way around. They sort of have an idea of how the system works. That's why you need people in that category as your friend when you get here. And again, if you've seen some of the videos that I have on my channel, I'm always talking about people coming in as a student, because the school allows you to meet people like that. It allows you to meet Americans that were born and raised here, either Caucasian or African Americans. It's like a melting pot for everybody, right? So those are the type of friends you really want to make friends in that kind of domain, not just white people or not just black people. You want to make both, like even like other kind of race, like brown people, etc. Those are the type of people that will tell you how to navigate the system in this country. You just need to know the right question to ask. They're the type that will introduce you to the person that will help you get your next job. They're the type that will introduce you to a job that you don't even know exists in this country. Because believe it or not, from where I come from, like we have some jobs like a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, like those professional jobs. And it's okay, they pay well in this country, but the entry barrier is so high that most immigrants that are coming in after the age of like 25 or whatever cannot really cross that barrier. But if you have friends that grew up here and understand the system, they're going to show you things that you don't know exist. And it's crucial to have friends in that category. As a matter of fact, that's one of the first things that you really want to do when you get here. You want to establish the ability to be sociable around people like that. And what does that look like? Okay. It means you need to be able to hold a conversation. It means you need to be able to listen. It means you need to be able to ask the right question at the right time. It means you need to know how to follow up on conversation. This is very, very difficult if you're not from here. It's difficult not because you're not socially capable. It's because it requires a different type of social strength to really have conversation with people in this country. One of these days, I'm probably going to make a video about that. But if you are able to secure that, if you're able to get into the zone where you can have a conversation with an average America, if you can ask like decent follow-up question and get them to talk and open up to you, then you're in a good spot, right? That's good. You want to keep that kind of relationship. That's number one. The second type of relationship that you want is relationship with people from your part of the world that has been here and they are successful already. Keyword here, successful. Keyword here, successful. Like go hard one or two things together. You don't want to camp with people that are not doing great, that will tell you everything that is wrong with this country when you try to have a conversation with them about things. You really want to avoid those people. As I'm talking like this, if you're here, you probably have somebody in your mind already. But you want to talk to people that are here and they're successful already. And you're not trying to duplicate their life. You're not trying to copy the things that they've done. You're trying to pick up the important things in their process that you think are going to be very, very helpful. And what do you get from people like that? You get a blueprint. I'm going to say that again. You get a blueprint that is very similar to your situation. And you can look at that blueprint and try and figure out what part of this blueprint is important for me. And where do you meet people like this? You meet them in churches, you meet them through a friend of a friend, you meet them in school, you meet them at your job because they've had that job before you. You need to pay attention to people like that, right? These are the people that you really want to arrange like a lunch with at work and just say, hey, boss. And when you talk to them, don't be having a conversation with them as if they're Americans, unless they give you that vibe. These are people that you really want to speak pidgin to. If you're from Nigeria and they're Nigerians, you really want to speak pidgin to. These are people that you want to show some certain level of respect so that they're going to open up to you. And what that kind of relationship does for you is that it allows you to understand the things that are not written on papers, right? Things that are not in ink and paper or whatever. They tell you, oh, don't do it like that. This is XYZ how to do it. Or this is how to have this conversation with somebody. Or this is how to approach this particular situation. They are talking to you from experience that they've gathered over the years. That kind of stuff you will not get from your American friends because they've never been in a situation where they have to navigate things like that, right? As an immigrant. So two category of relationship. You want to keep that relationship with your American friends, both white and black. Very, very important. Don't just get boxed in with like white people or don't just get boxed in with black people. Two different perspectives. You want to pick your friends from both sides of the conversation and enjoy the experience. Very, very important. And then you want to keep in touch with people that are from your side of the world, that they know what it takes or what it means to be on a visa. They know what it takes to have family back home. They know what it takes to try and settle into a new country. Now you want to take the experience from both sides and mix it together and then use that to establish yourself. And when I say this as a very, very crucial element of the process, I am not exaggerating. So often I have seen people, for example, I met some people, some particular set of people in school that all their friends were Americans. And they forgot that they're on a visa. Because Americans will tell you, oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just apply for jobs. They don't know that there's something called OPT or STEM OPT. You don't want to hang out a lot with people like that for a very long time, for too long, because they don't understand the reality of things. And it's not their fault. It's just they've never had to navigate that kind of process before, right? So I've seen people get so immersed in the situation of trying to blend in, not even blending, in the situation of trying to understand the culture, and then they got carried away with the idea of hanging out with Americans and Americans alone, right? You don't want to be in that category. I've also seen people on the other side where all their friends are Africans. They cannot hold any decent conversation with somebody that is not from their side of the world, somebody that does not speak their language or something similar to their language. They cannot eat foods that are not African food. That's not good. That should not be you, okay? You want to be able to be A when you need to be A and be B when you need to be B. And you want to find a middle ground. And that's an essential part of the entire conversation. So if you're here and you're thinking of how to establish yourself or how to set some sort of tradition or like a path or a trajectory for yourself in moving forward, you want to pay attention to those two type of relationship. But that's all I have for you in this video. I hope this helps you some way, somehow. And if you like the video, do not forget to like it, like actually like the video, or and then subscribe if you like some of the things that I talk about, and share the video, especially to your friends that you think they fall into one of those two categories that I described. It's gonna help them. It's gonna really save them a lot of headache in this country. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.